There's Kevin with RogueDeckBuilder.com with this week's episode of the Tuesday Brewsday. Now, I do have an Archangel Thune Soul Sisters video that is going to be coming out soon. However, I don't think I'm going to get it edited in time for Tuesday Brewsday, so I thought I'd hop on MTG Arena and showcase the deck that I play a lot with the Corpse Knight. So one of my goals was to brew around the decks, are the cards that I chose for the top 10 cards from Core 2020. I haven't been very diligent on that, but one of my favorite cards from that list is definitely Corpse Knight. So Corpse Knight is a 2/2 zombie knight. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, each opponent loses 1 life. So I thought I'd brew an entire deck around Corpse Knight. It wants both creatures coming in to the battlefield as well as, so I was thinking immediately Heroic Reinforcements would be the best card to pair with Corpse Knight, and also the Hero of Precinct 1. And so I thought, okay, I need to find other multicolor cards that also work well with creatures coming into play. Corpse Knight's a knight, so History of Benalia was an obvious choice to put in the deck, as well as the new card of the Sky Knight Vanguard. So we're getting 2 knights from the Core 2020. So other creatures that then work off kind of the synergies is if you're attacking with many creatures, there's Legion's Landing. This becomes a renewable resource between Corpse Knight and Legion's Landing. I have won a lot of stalemate games with this sort of combo, or wipe the board, throw out a Corpse Knight, and then start pumping out Legion Landing tokens every turn and draining your opponent, plus being able to attack in. Pretty decent little combo versus like the Teferi decks. Another card of the 1-drop is the Footlight Fiend. Footlight Fiend is just a 1/1 for 1. What we really care about this is just multicolored. Yes, there are plenty of other 1-drops that you could justify putting in this slot. However, this one in particular, being the 1/1 for 1 that deals 1 damage when it dies, seems to be the best for this particular slot. So the other multicolored card in the 2-drop slot is going to be the Cruel Celebrant. The Cruel Celebrant is a 1/2 for a white and a black, and whenever another creature or planeswalker you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain life. So you gain 1 for coming in and going out with this deck. The other multicolored is going to be Judith, the Scourge Diva. So whenever a non-token creature you control dies, Judith, the Scourge Diva, deals 1 damage to any target, plus other creatures get +1/+0. So this is going to be one of our Anthem effects. With this and Heroic Reinforcements, makes all of our tokens a lot bigger. Hero of Precinct 1 is going to be puking them out. Corpse Knight's going to be draining when they come in. Cruel Celebrant's going to be draining when they come out. Sky Knight Vanguard is going to be puking them out every time they attack. Legion's Landing is going to be able to puke them out when it gets flipped. So that's the idea of the deck. Just this very straightforward strategy. It works very, very well, at least in the gold tier. I don't grind Arena much. Don't play much Arena. I'll log in, play my games, and basically log off. Mana base is also straightforward. This is made for Arena, so a little bit of disclaimer for Best of 1 Arena. Best of 1 Arena cheats. It's a cheat face. It is not Magic. Magic Arena is not Magic. Do not try to play your decks you play in Magic Arena in paper. You will have problems with the mana base. How it works on Magic Arena is they try to push those lands. You can test it yourself by building 12 land red or 11 land red. You'll get 1 and 2 lands consistently. So for this particular deck, we're going to be a little bit lower on what we would probably normally run in paper Magic. We're going to run 4 Sacred Foundries, 4 Clifftop Retreats, 4 Blood Crypts, 4 Isolated Chapel, 4 Godless Shrines, 2 Dragon Skull Summits, and 2 Plains. And that's really good with our mana base. We need the Plains more than anything for the first turn Legion's Landing and the second turn Hero Precinct 1, plus the double History of Benalia. So it's our most important one. That's why we're going to skew towards having white sources. All right, that's pretty much it. We'll play a few games here in the Best of 1. Again, it's Best of 1. I don't have a sideboard even built with this deck. Let's get going. Alrighty, so you can see, haven't really grinded much here. I'll have to show you the Elf Ball deck sometime. With the Corpse Knight deck, the favorable matchups for sure are going to be, like, Mono Red is usually pretty easy with this deck. Teferi is actually pretty good. We race Scape Shift. What are the bad matchups? Anything running Cryocranarium is pretty tough. This is actually keepable hand. Surprisingly, like the Hydra Krasis decks aren't that tough either. Like sometimes they try to race with you, which is just inexperienced Magic players, with like the Jadeite Rangers and whatnot. And is that even still a deck nowadays? I still see it on Arena. So of course, let's lead off with the Shock lands. We don't have to shock ourselves. Then we'll have Cruel Celebrant into. So these 2 are going to come out next. These 2 lands. And Healer's Hawk. So this can be a tricky matchup. That we just pulled one of the best cards versus this matchup. Healer's Hawk definitely is one of the better cards versus us because we don't want to play the life gain issue. Did I literally like look at the Footlight and be like, I'm not going to put out the Footlight turn 1? You know, sometimes that's not the play if you have a Hero Precinct 1 because you can get more value off the Footlight. But was I just ignoring this card or we draw it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Whoops. Should have first turned it. So we could just get beat by a Spell Pierce here. Nope. Okay. So History of Benalia is going to be one of the better cards. Opponent could flash in like another Spectral Sailor. I think I'm okay with that trade, though. So we're definitely going to the races. So another Spectral Sailor comes down. We do have to worry about the Angel that gives all the flying creatures indestructible. We also have to worry about the Angel Lord here. But again, if my opponent does try to race, we can definitely do some explosive turns. Because next turn we're getting a Footlight. Alright, yeah. Whatever. So, let's go with the 17. We need two things out here. So I could go the Sky Knight Legionnaire. That's not good. It's going to be History of Benalia, and I do need to shock myself here. So, Footlight and History of Benalia. And hopefully my opponent tries to go lethal on me. And possibly we can dish off 18 damage. I highly doubt it, though. The Lords, do I just lose here? So my opponent had the Safari Skyblade. That was basically the nut draw. Yeah, that's lethal, correct? All right, so my opponent had the nuts. You can't beat the nuts. We don't run any removal, so we're just dead to these sort of decks. I think this deck is 1,000 times better than the Flying deck. Like, the Flying deck is so easy to pick apart with removal. What's really good about this Aristocrats deck is it's very removal resilient. So you take care of pieces, and a lot of the cards 2 for 1. A lot of the cards drain. But that was the perfect hand by my opponent with having the pump spell, having the 7/7, having everything that they needed just to do lethal. We'll go on to the next one. Another very mediocre hand here, but the Heroic Reinforcements definitely makes this a bonkers hand if it does, like we do stumble. So what I really like about this deck, though, is the ability to just get wins out of nowhere. So we do have 3 shocks, which isn't ideal. Like, you want to have, like, 1 shock and 2 non-shocks. So I don't have to dish off damage. That does come into play versus the mono red deck. And can it be Feather? Feather can be one of the harder matchups, but we can definitely race Feather. And hey, I said we wanted more shocks, and Arena's like, yeah, I'll give you another shock. I'll give you the worst one with the Blood Crypt because you don't need more white mana. We'll do Hero Precinct 1. This will probably end up getting killed, but still, it's the better payoff card. Like, my opponent goes like the 10th Legion here, then we can get a, yeah, expected that. So no Arcanist. All right, so this Blood Crypt can go into play tapped. And we'll do another hero. Hopefully this one doesn't get shocked. So, I mean, what would be the worst case scenario coming out? A Feather this turn would definitely be awful. All right, Arcanist isn't horrible. We're going to get some value off of the Arcanist. Yeah, we're off the Hero Precinct 1. Get a lot of value. This Blood Crypt can still come into play tapped because we want the Sky Knight Vanguard, which gives us a 1/1, and the Footlight, which gives us a 1/1. And no, we would not like to attack. I probably should have attacked with Hero Precinct 1 because I doubt my opponent would have blocked. Could have with the Dread Horde, but I got in with an additional 2 damage. That might actually come into relevance here. Well then. Okay, well, we're in bad shape now, especially with the drawing all lands, which is another typical MTG arena. I guess now is as good a time as ever. Because that's our only way we're going to win this. I mean, drawing 3 lands and no cards is rough. And did find the Dreadhorde Arcanist. I don't believe my opponent had that in their hand. They would have cast it. Vanguard here. The Dreadhorde Arcanist gets him a shock. Jeez. Sacred Foundry shock. Why? Gonna go with another grid for battle? I assume. Hey, we did want lands. We absolutely wanted lands, and Arena obliges. We still have to just like attack here. It's the only way I'm going to get out of this. But did we draw all lands? Is that so 4, 5? No, we kept a 3-lander. So did we draw 1 non-land? What did we draw? Here, Precinct 1. So Dreadhorde Arcanist, Adonto Vanguard, Grid for battle. My opponent is reckless. Should just do a shock, but knowing my opponent there, he's going to do a grid for battle because he's bad. Which leaves us open just winning with the heroic. Okay, did do a shock. Okay. So we go down to a 10. And doesn't matter. We'll just draw lands. So typical MTG Arena. We'll actually get a game going here, though. The variance on MTG Arena is awful. It is horrid. I don't care what they say. I mean, I used to think MTGO was bad, but Arena is just... It is absolutely terrible. And it's on the other end, too. Like, I swear if you build, like, a deck with 25 lands, you don't see the lands. So it'll give you a 2-lander, and you'll never see that third or fourth land. And if you build a deck with like my Elf Ball deck that has 12 lands in it, you're definitely going to draw 10 of your lands in your first 30 cards. So... yeah, it could be anecdotal, and Wizards denies, but I've heard that from so many people, and anecdotally, here on my end, it is just awful. So we're going against red. See if we can go 3 out here. Red is typically, like, we need to avoid, like, Goblin Chain Whirlers. We'll start off with, like, Allegiance Landing. It's the most powerful card. My opponent's got to shock it. Otherwise, it's going to start gaining a lot of life. And then we can follow up with, like, a Isolated Chapel into a Corpse Knight. Yeah, that's fine. We knew that was coming. Runaway Steam could be, yeah, rough. No Runaway Steam. Hey, now we've drawn... how many lands in the rows we drawn now? Ay. So we'll go Corpse Knight. It also will probably hit a removal spell. Well, that's what's good about this deck is we can outgrind our opponent unless they get like an Experimental Frenzy. And I mean, that's 5 damage that was meant for the face. There's Fanatical Firebrand. So I think I'm just going to Sacred Foundry and then go Footlight Fiend. Light up the stage. Totally fair card. Opponent decided not to run the other one out. I guess we go Isolated Chapel and then just go History. Oh, that's a Chandra Spitfire that's up there. So the opponent's got to decide between the two. So Light Up Stage wasn't the greatest. So the card that we're going to worry about is the Enchantment here. So another land. Surprise, surprise. I think this time I do shock myself and put out the Judith and the Footlight Fiend. Guess I could wait for that. But we are in horrible position, I would say, with... Just going to chump block with a Fanatical Firebrand and then do a damage to me? Interesting. But what is that? We need a Heroic Reinforcements. I'm going to go on the Footlight Fiend. Okay, that's fine too. Risk factor. So we'll take the action. I'd rather have my opponent not get cards. But this is getting scary. However, we will flip the Legion's Landing. We're going down to a 9. Corpse Knight's awful. However, this is a big hit that's coming at my opponent. I shouldn't have actually done... Yeah, I still think the Gauntlets Shrine Tapped is the right play. So my opponent's just going to take the damage. Okay, so Corpse Knight. And Risk Factor, I have to let my opponent have the cards this time. If they do the Risk Factor. I could just die because the Scorched Spitter... How Chandra Spitfire just works incredibly well with a lot of cards that were printed. So this one, you can have the cards. So they can decline. And did find the land. I was worried about a land because we could still get, like, lightning striked and die. Yeah, we're dead here. So then the Spitfire pumps up the Spitter pumps up the Spitfire, and we die. Jeez, not our day today. So my opponent did need to find land lightning strike off that Risk Factor, and did indeed find those. And of course we drew land after land after land. Let's get just a fair land. Let's not draw 50% land. I think every matchup now has been over 50% land, including that one at the end. So we had 6 lands and less than 6 to work with. All right, this is a very good hand because we have the Hero Precinct 1 plus the Corpse Knight, and these are the type of hands that can definitely drain the opponent. 0-3, not showcasing this deck like it usually runs. Hopefully my AFK opponent can come back and actually play Magic. You queued up, you know. All right, so lead off with the Plains. And Dragon Skull Summit is probably the more... no, I can't do Dragon Skull Summit. That'd be very bad. Vampires. So, yeah, we'll do Clifftop Retreat and go Hero Precinct 1. And then we're going to do another Hero Precinct 1. So Legion, okay, it's just a tap land at death. Okay, that's fine. Good shape so far. Beautiful card. So yeah, it's just gonna be Sacred Foundry to play tapped. Ooh, I wonder if just putting out a Sky Knight Vanguard is actually better. I think it is. So okay, so Hero Precinct 1 is like the bigger payoff. But this allows me to have a chump blocker for this Vampire of the Dire Moon. And then next turn we can go Hero Precinct 1 plus Corpse Knight. Ugh. Okay, that's not what I wanted to see. That's definitely not where I wanted. Oh, my opponent decided that did not want to attack in, which I think is a mistake. So now we have chump blockers like crazy, and we even have a flyer that's going to produce one. Oh, that was dumb. That was dumb to attack in. That was really dumb to attack in. Because he has a lifelinker. Oh, wow. My opponent's worse than I am. A Death Touch lifelink and decides not to block with the Vampire of the Dire Moon. I caught myself right after attack. I'm like, whoa, wait a second. That thing has lifelink on that as well. So that worked out for us. We have heroic reinforcements that should be lethal, I'd assume, next turn. Unless my opponent's got some sort of board wipe. Yeah, Sorin. Sorin gets to cheat something in. Vona's actually really powerful. And a Legion's Landing. So, do I need to go one step, go another turn with the heroic reinforcements? So, gains 5 life and... So 7 life. So my opponent's effectively at 22 and has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blockers. Unfortunately, it's just going to be a hero. Because I did not quite have lethal there. Would have done 2 life. Yeah. So next turn we're a lot better. Vona has vigilance though. So I need to draw a non-land. I'd love to draw a 1-drop, like a Legion's Landing. No, I didn't say my opponent draw a Legion Landing. I said I draw a Legion Landing. Opponent decides not to attack in. Jeez. Gain 3. Go 2 off the... And kill. Pay 7 life to... Okay, we're going to go for it here. And that lost lifelink, correct? I think we're good. Not quite sure what the activation... Because gaining quite a bit of life... Actually, my opponent could survive this. Because it does have the other life-linking vampires. There's a lot of damage going through, though. So my opponent blocked wrong. Needed to put it on another 3/3, and we do win that one. I was too lazy even to add that up there. I think it was a losing proposition though if we gave my opponent another turn. Possibly not. Possibly I should have waited. But that's a good showcase of how that it can really start just churning out the damage. All right, let's play another one. So sideboard, I don't know how I'd build a sideboard. I'd have to look into it. I probably would want to Like, morph over into the sacrifice. Probably put the priests in and the regular sacrifice. I don't know. So this is risky, but I think it's keepable, especially since we're going first. We have our mana sources we need for flipping the Legion landing and then going the History of Benalia. Opponent does mulligan. Gob the Shrine, pay 2 life, Legion's Landing, get a 1/1. And next turn we'll go the Sky Knight Vanguard. So we're going against probably the mono blue deck, which, well, opt could be in anything, but the green blue flash, that could easily be a good game. All right, my opponent says good game already. Okay, guess good game. So needed to find a land and did not. There is, ooh, Sulphur Falls, actually. So I was wrong. Could be Phoenix. Phoenix is making Resurgence just because it does match up quite well. That actually hurts a lot, but we did rip the card we needed. Let's go ahead and attack in. And throw out a History of Benalia, and hopefully it doesn't get Spell Pierced. If it gets Spell Pierced, it gets Spell Pierced. No, it does not. So this is going to be hard for my opponent to recover from the Knights. So another Steam Vents, this one shocking my opponent. Dreadhorde Arcanist, so some sort of Wizards build. And shocking that one. Ugh. So we can go Corpse Knight into Legion's Landing. Instead of another History of Benalia. But, yeah, I actually think my opponent's in good shape here with that Dreadhorde Arcanist. Can shock down something. Lightning Stormkin. Opt. Okay, Opt is a lot easier for us unless there's a land that comes out because, okay, Dreadhorde Arcanist can get blocked like crazy. So shock on the Corpse Knight, and we are going to block off the Arcanist. We will lose another Legion landing, but it's fine. Or Vampire. So I don't know if I necessarily... Yeah, I think my opponent has to attack in there. We find another Corpse Knight. Which... we'll be able to play. I think History of Benalia is still stronger, though. Probably make the argument the other way. Kefnet. Kefnet's rough. Now we need to find our finishers here, and we need to not do that. Draw lands. I'm just going to throw it out. We attack and we lose a bunch of resources for a Legion's Landing. Might actually be worth it. So getting 2, and I just think because I want to drain my opponent, is my. If I can get that guaranteed flipped right now, we're in pretty good shape. Maybe I shouldn't main phase this, but now my opponent needs to draw a shock. Did not reveal a card, or what phase are we in here? Okay, did not reveal something with the God Eternal Kefnet, so needs to kill the Corpse Knight. We're also can't really attack into the Lightning Stormkin. Down to a 7. I mean, we have plenty of top decks that are... Reckless Rage. Okay. Interesting attack. Or... because it doesn't leave back another blocker. Because wanted the Chart a Course. Celebrant was one of the better cards we could have drawn to here. Blocks the Knight, and goes to a 2, and then goes to a 1 with the Celebrant. And I believe that's going to do it. So now it needs to somehow get lethal without killing one of my creatures, which I don't think is going to be possible. It'd need to be, there's the good game. Do I have to say it back for you to concede, or? There we go. All right, we'll play one more. And show a few other decks that I've been working on. And then I'll have that Soul Sisters video probably out tomorrow. I'm also going to start taping a lot more gameplay and sending it to a video editor. I'll probably bring back like maybe playing on a budget or just like the Rogues Alley. Try to do like the Tuesday Brewsday and Rogues Alley. Give you enough Magic Gathering content per week. Starting to get back into Magic. I've kind of taken a hiatus. Between summer I do a lot of fishing and also got really into Dota Underlords. I still think Dota Underlords is a lot more fun to play than both MTGO and Arena. Magic is more of a paper thing for me. It's a socialization thing. I think there are better online games. I think that just the design of how, like, being able to minimize variance through other methods besides shuffling cards and trying to digitize shuffling cards, there are better ways to make games. But as far as paper is concerned, it's still very fun. Still enjoy it. But Underlords, if I'm looking for like a card game type game, I like Dota Underlords and still like Dota 2. Anyway, let's go ahead, and doesn't look like there's a reason to play anything but this Blood Crypt. This is definitely a keepable hand. It's very good. I got our 4th land. Let's not get our 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th land. And this looks like we are going to be going up against a Sultai deck. I need to quit talking about lands because Arena's going to give them to me now. We'll go with the Isolated Chapel and the Cruel Celebrant. And then we'll go with the History of Benalia. Yeah, probably History of Benalia. So some sort of Sultai list. Ooh, is this the Teferi Infinite Mill deck with the Diligent? Yes, it is. Okay. So let's go with the Clifftop Retreat and History of Benalia. And not go after Ashiok, because Ashiok is irrelevant because you're going to get milled through an infinite loop, basically. Being able to cast Mox Ambers over and over and over is how the deck operates. So Ashiok is just another win condition, sort of-ish. But, I mean, it's just not relevant. I mean, it's got rid of a bunch of lands for us, thanks. 1, 2, 3. 3 lands we don't have to draw into. Hey, but we draw into a land anyway, because that's that's Arena for you. So I think we want to... There isn't any counter spells in this deck, I believe. So we're just going to run out the Judith. And... get in there for 5. Because it's like Tameo. Tameo is in the deck. That's fine. Still dishes off some damage. And let's throw another tap land. Probably still want another white source. So hasn't found the Diligent Excavator. Hasn't found a Teferi. Teferi's kind of weak right now, anyway. At this point, you just ignore their Planeswalkers. Just keep going damage. Ritual of Soot. That is very, very rough, but at least we get some damage off of it. And I find no lands now. Yuck. Now I'm going to draw a land because of it. Okay, so what we're going to do... We're going to do the Cruel Celebrant and the Footlight Fiend, Blood Crypt into play tapped, and call it good. So Narset going into the bin, trying to find another Ritual of Soot, Temple of Milady, Kaya. Oh, Kaya was a good pull. Now, where is Kaya going to go, though? Kaya is going to go like that. All right, so we need to draw a 2-drop. A good 2-drop, like a Hero Precinct 1 does it. Perfect. Okay, so Hero Precinct 1, Heroic Reinforcements, GG. And we pull it off. Alrighty. So, yeah, this is a new up-and-coming deck. It did very well at the last MCQ, I believe. I can't remember who. I think it was a Stanis Sifka deck. Ex-Magic player turned Hearthstone, and now is back to Magic, since I guess Hearthstone is on its way out. Apparently, Hearthstone's having a resurgence right now, so maybe Sifka will go back to Hearthstone. However, Sifka was an excellent brewer back in his day. So this is one of his creations. Pretty cool. Definitely go check some of those videos out. It's an interesting deck with how it works with Mox Amber and Diligent Excavator. So basically what you want to do, and this is the new card out of M20 where you can cast legendary creatures from your graveyard. So yeah, I'll have to showcase it sometime. I'll have to give it a run. All right, anyway, that's how the deck works. It can win out of nowhere. We still drew a ton of lands all of those games. Very frustrating with MTG Arena. It does feel like, at least in the best in one, you get so many lands, regardless of how many lands you put in your deck. Let's open some packs here and see some garbage we get for the Arena. A Core 2020 pack. The Knight of the Eben Legion. I haven't built vampires yet. And good old Mastery Tree, huh? Hey, we can pick a... Hey, we can get the stylized version of it. See, so much I play Arena. Not that often. I'll play my dailies and then log off. Anyway, some other decks that I've been working on. The Ignore Wizards. That was a deck I just played for the Dominaria challenge. There's no ban cards in this. It was the first deck that had it, that had no ban cards. But this deck, I showcased this before with the Elf Ball. This is my latest version of it. I'm definitely going to drop red. I think Rhythm of the Wild's a cute card in this Elf Ball deck, but I think I want to go white, green, and then instead of the Vanquisher's banner, go with the draw a card for each creature you control. It's a 4-mana spell. I think what do? They gain hexproof and indestructible, and then draw a card for each one you control. I think that's actually is better to be reactive than proactive in this deck, meaning like Vanquisher's banner is good if you have it out and then cast creatures. However, the problem with the deck is you need to be casting the creatures to be able to afford 5 mana for the Vanquisher's banner. So yes, Vanquisher's banner is better for the residual card draw once you get it out, but I think having a spell that just draws you a big, clump of cards all at once is better for the deck. We'll give it a go, and we're running white anyway. It allows us to be heavier on white, allows us to drop like the Rootbound Crag and the Stomping Ground. Doesn't give us the Banefire out, and also we have to cut Rhythm of Wild, but Samut works just as good as Rhythm. Rhythm is really the only synergy with Rhythm is with the Incubation Druid. So a little bit of explanation. I showcase this on my YouTube channel. Didn't ever play it. I just showed a clip, I think, of the deck. So what the deck does is you need to have a card draw, and it's Leyline of Abundance. And if you have a card range like Beast Whisperer and Leyline of Abundance, and a haste like Rhythm of the Wild and Samut, you go through your entire deck until you find a Gauntlet of Light, or sometimes you can just untap with Rally Wings, and then you cast a huge Banefire. So you untap all your creatures. They all tap for like 2 mana. A lot of times you get your third or fourth lane line out, and they're tapping for a ton of mana. Originally, I was heavier on this Gauntlet of Light. So Gauntlets of Light says 3, untap this creature. So there's 2 creatures in this deck that will generate you more mana than utilizing this. So the first one is going to be just Incubation Druid with a +1 to encounter on it, and a Leyline of Abundance out will generate 4 mana. So you tap it, add 4 mana to your mana pool, untap it. You float 1 infinitely, and then you can basically go off. The other way is to have either a Drover of the Mighty or a Paradise Druid, and then you'd have to have 3 Leyline of Abundance out at that point, because they need to be tapping. Yeah, so they need to be tapping for 4 mana every time you tap them, and then also you can go infinite with it. So it was fun when it worked with the Gauntlet of Light, but this deck's incredibly janky. So we'll just showcase it really quickly here, and we will call it good. So we'll lose all the rank we just got with the Corpse Knight deck, and play with another card in my top 10 list, which is the Leyline. I think I've hit most of my cards, like a Johnny. I haven't done a Sorin in Modern deck. But yeah, most of the cards, a lot of the cards I pick for my top cards out of Core 2020 actually end up making mainstream decks. So this is usually a mulligan. I'm going to keep it though. I mean, we are very susceptible to removal, but you basically want to mulligan every hand that doesn't have a Leyline in it. Because they're dead cards if you draw them, and they're really explosive if you have them in your opening hand. But I mean, this isn't horrible. We have a Beast Whisperer coming out next turn, which can help us Elf Ball out a little bit. One of these gets removed. Like this deck, I didn't showcase it. We're running basically no lands. We're exploiting the arena because, look, we have 2 lands. It does this every time. I am not joking. This does this every time. It gives you 2 lands regardless of how many lands you run. So Beast Whisperer here. This Dreadhorde Butcher is going to be a pain. We didn't draw a land there to solidify. We still have a Leyline. I'm a long ways off from going off. Like I said, this deck is very, very awkward. It's fun when you have those really explosive. Like, you can win on turn 3, I think, is the quickest I was able to win with. But the stars really have to align for that to happen. So he has the Lightning Strike. So just sets back a turn and gets a buff on the Dreadhorde Butcher. So, yeah. Not looking good for us. And a Skewer the Critics. Did find another land in my 14 land deck, so there's that for us. There's another Beast Whisperer. But I mean, what's the best thing we can do next turn? Just Paradise Druid? I got Bedevil. Yep. And light up the stage even for 2 lands. So, unfortunately, I think we have to do this. Put out 2. So, can we possibly go? No, so we still need a haste effect. And we're pretty far away from that. I think this has to make the trade, unfortunately. Like, that feels really weird. Yeah, or there's no way we're elf balling out. Because we're just dead to Dreadhorde Butcher. There's another Dreadhorde Butcher. We'd have to win this next turn, and there's just no way. Plus, I think my opponent probably has the last Lightning Strike or Skewer. Or just a Sacrifice Outlet. So even like a Reckless Rage. Oh, okay. Just gets to draw 3 cards. And we'd have to Elf Ball here. There's no way. So, Druid could find Incubation Druid. Yeah, we're just done here. And we'll play another one real quickly with it. But really, Glass Cannon deck, any sort of removal. Like, if you're going up against a deck that runs Shocks, Lightning Strikes, at that sort of stuff, you're just going to be too far behind to come back from it. And again, like I said, you mainly want to mulligan very aggressive with this deck with Leyline. The ultimate hand is having 1 land, Leyline, and Llanowar Elf. And if Llanowar Elf doesn't get shocked, typically those are the hands that go crazy. 2 lands, of course, would be ideal. But a lot of times the Leyline will do it. So, as of course would be a mulligan. Leafkin, Llanowar. Still didn't find what we needed. So I'm going to keep this because it does have 2. We'll put the Rally because we don't need it yet. In the... Okay, Leyline of Abundance would have been nice. We need to ramp it out. But now we need a card draw. So we have the Leyline. So now we need a card draw. We'll get 2 creatures out this turn unless it gets Tyrant Scorned. Disfigured. Okay. So I think we'll put out another one. Possibly should have just... Yeah, actually, you know what? That would have been much better just to shock myself in a matchup where life probably isn't that big of a deal. We'll go Leyline here. Let's get it out before it gets countered. I think that's better just to get it out. Maybe it would have been better just to cast a creature. Teferi, just Thought Eraser, yeah. I'm okay with Thought Eraser, just gets rid of a mana dork. But we have to get like a Vanquisher's Banner here off the top. And we still need a haste effect. So lots of things not going for us. We'll go Druid, and we'll go Paradise Druid. That way we can start at least pumping the creatures. But Kaya's Wrath here. See, Bellhaunt just gets rid of the Paradise Druid. Now I need to find a draw engine, and then Rhythm of the Wild is pretty terrible. At least our stuff can't be countered after that. So possibly I could come back from this. It's not looking good because we're into Teferi range. We're looking at board wipe range here. Bolas's Citadel. Yeah, my opponent can go crazy with Bolas's Citadel. Well, Beast Whisperer was one of the better cards. Okay, so possibly next turn we can go off, and my opponent just had another land off top with Bolas's Citadel. But it's a Narset. Narset for Oath of Kaya. Did hit the land. Should cast whatever is on top with the Bolas's Citadel. I would still run the Oath of Kaya on the Druid. Can't kill the Beast Whisperer, that's the good news. We technically can go off with the stars. Okay, now we can't go off with the Mortify. Don't know why it took my opponent that long to decide on the Mortify. So ramped out a Bolas's Citadel before we could get a stab. We did mulligan, though. And that Leyline came late. Samut does give us one more, because that's also something we do need. So, all right, so Rhythm can go away. We need all the luck in the world for this Bolas's Citadel. And the Narset can still... So there looked like there was a land on top with Narset. Narset gets to reshuffle, or at least take off the top 4 for Bolas's Citadel. Narset for a Narset. I mean, give some more outs. There's the land. So there's one land off the top. The other Narset is going to try to find a Teferi, I would assume. Either Teferi works really well. The Elder Spell is actually terrible. Doesn't do anything. I guess it kills Samut. Yeah, it's fine. Samut was redundant there because we have Rhythm. But we honestly don't have a card draw engine. We're giving my opponent another turn. I've had enough. Okay, we're going to go next one. There's no way we win this. My opponent is just slow. Play one more. See if we can get a Leyline in the opening hand. There is a Leyline in the opening hand and the Banefire, but we are really heavy on the draw now and low on the mana dorks. But I'll keep this one, and we'll have an Incubation Druid, and then we'll have a Beast Whisperer. So, hopefully this does not die. If it does die, I think we're in bad shape. It does not die. Rout of the Wings, though, is not where we want to be. Beast Whisper is where we want to be. But now we're looking at like Teferi bouncing back stuff. Looks like that's Oath of Kaya killing the Beast Whisperer. Too much like early removal because of all the decks. We have Vanquisher Banner's actually better though. Other than Teferi still, Mortify and Teferi still exist. You choose Druid with this deck, not Elf. This does give us some padding as like disfigures. Teferi sets us back though by bouncing a Vanquisher's Banner. Plague Crafter. That is actually not terrible. We have pretty good. All right, so we're not. Yeah, this is actually pretty good if we can get this other Vanquisher's Banner online. My point is ramping. Is hitting land drops is going to go towards. Gets a Moment of Craving. And a Jace. So is this the Nicol Bolas Infinite Jace deck? Haven't seen this one forever. So hitting land drops like there's no tomorrow. This will draw us a... Okay. Now we're actually in decent shape. So Llanowar Elf. Just got to avoid a Nicol Bolas. And we'll be good. And we're really close from Elf balling off here. Kaya. Kaya gets to kill the Llanowar Elf. Which I don't know if it's that relevant. But we got to stop drawing lands. So we kill the Kaya. We have Jace ulting, which I don't know if I care. Because we have the Banefire. So we just need to Elf Ball off. We have draw. Arch of Araska to draw cards too. Ugin. He's smart, he'll take the Leyline. Okay, this gives us a turn. All right, let's see what you can do, deck. Let's go Forest. We need to find a haste effect. And that's why Samut's so good is over the... There's the rhythm, but we did not find... So I think I just need to kill Ugin here. Unfortunately, it's a Banefire, though. I'm just dead with... Can I Banefire for 5? I can. Because that's exactly 5. No, I can't. Because everything cost... Wait a second. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How come I can't do it for 6? Oh, maybe it was just telling me to tap it. There we go. My opponent gets to draw a bunch of cards here. Teferi. Gonna bounce my Drover? No, just gonna draw off Teferi. So we have one more turn. We're actually in pretty good shape. Probably gonna attack him with these two. We'll kill the illusion. Opponent gets to draw, discard, draw, discard. Okay. we're actually in decent shape. The problem is we have these double rallies. We can't draw another rally is the good news. We have a Rhythm, which gives everything haste. And I think we actually Elf Ball off here. The problem is that we don't have Banefire now. And we still need to find some more ley lines. So my opponent was pretty reckless on both the Ugin and the Teferi. But to give it to my opponent, they probably don't know what I'm doing here. So let's go Paradise Druid. Draw. Draw. Haste. Now we're in good shape because we have the Leafkin. Draw. There's Gauntlets of Light. Haste. Now this guy taps for green. And another Leafkin. Which we need to hit a creature or we're donezo here. Resolve all. And we missed. Cool. I guess haste. I can at least kill all of my opponent's stuff. Ish. I cannot believe we just I'll shock myself. Tap for 3. Tap for 6. Untap everything. Oops, I didn't tap that other guy. I tap. We can Leyline here. Tap. So next to combat. So Jace, or Teferi. Jace. Can't believe we didn't draw a land off that. We stopped the Elf Ball. Let's it all happen, huh? Let's that Jace survive. We're out of Rally the Wings, though, so we don't have, like, big plays left. We still have the Gauntlet of Light and the Rhythm that can find Incubation Druid and then go off as far as... And that Jace made a... Yeah, made another copy of Jace. Teferi. Teferi probably wants to bounce a Vanquisher's Banner.
Let's try this.
At this point, it's not a big deal. We need to find an Incubation Druid off the top. Still have a lot of ley lines left in the deck. Shuffles the graveyard. Draw loots. Okay, so at least that's a decent card. Start off here with the Vanquisher's Banner. Going back to Druid. Now I can do Druid of the Cowl. And give it haste. And then Marwyn, which draws 2, giving it haste. And we want to leyline out as quickly as possible. So I'm going to do Druid. We're going to use this green here. Do another leyline. So this allows our cards to cast for a little bit more. Draw. Ugh. Okay, that's a good one. So haste. And we got Llanowar Elf off the floater. Draw. And there we go. Haste. And now we will tap the Leafkin again for Beast Whisperer. Thing is, our win condition, all of our win conditions are gone here. And this wants to be haste still. Now, we have infinite mana now. Okay, cool. So now we have Leyline. So we tap and tap. Or, yeah, that's fine. And then we need to tap the Druid for a ton. And we can go another Beast Whisper and draw a ton of cards. So we go haste, resolve, and then we have another Leyline of Abundance that can come out. Got them all. So now we have the Leafkin. We just need to find Incubation Druid here. And apparently they're not in the deck. Haste. Let's go Drover. Draw. Haste. Still no Incubation Druid. So Llanowar. Haste. We only actually have one more draw. Are they all in the bottom, every one of my incubations, or did I... let's just go Samut here. And give that +1/+1. A Vanquisher's Banner. There's the last, or there's one more Vanquisher's Banner. And then there's Incubation Druid. We had it this entire time. And this is where it gets really laggy. And I'd win here, so we're going to call this a win. But my opponent's going to make me time out, which is fine. I'm the one playing this jank. And we've drawn the entire deck. And this wants +1/+1. And now resolve. And then this taps for a white. And look how laggy it then becomes. So this now goes on the Incubation Druid. And we can just keep doing this until we time out. But we actually do have the win here. But I mean, it just would take forever for this to. We'd be here for years. Because we can't cast any of our creatures. And we'd have to also pump up Used both our rallies as well earlier for the... Someone play the Jeopardy music here. Guess we can play this Vanquisher banner. Gets +1/+1. My opponent's at 43 too. Ugh. Repeat, repeat, repeat. I think we still need to do a little bit more. Yeah, we don't have 30 damage that's getting through right now. Less than 30 damage. No, we don't. I think we're good. This is net up quite a bit. This gets even worse when you don't have all the lane lines out. All right, so what are we at? That enough? Think so. So, block, block, block. Overkill, I think. And there you have it. That's how you pull out. So I think that this last game took longer than the entire bazillion games we did before. And now my opponent's going to make me wait for all their timeouts. They probably went and ate some food or something. That's what I would do. Oh, wow. Or we just stalled it out. But, yep, I don't think my opponent's responding here. So let's wait for their timeouts. Be bad mannered and spam. Your go. I doubt my opponent's even at the... But yeah, I'm pretty sure this deck can be tuned. I've seen some people are like raise runners, but I think the deck gets even more vulnerable to removal if you're running the end raise runners. That's the creature that's a 7/7 that then untaps all your... Or no, doesn't untap your creatures. It just gives them +2/+2 and trample. Because you don't need it. You just... What you need is you need the ley lines out. You need the combos to work. I thought about just going full out on Rally of Wings because they tend to be more powerful than the Gauntlet. But the Gauntlet is something that can go infinite. So I guess we're just going to win through timeouts from my opponent. Wish they'd have like a button, "Are you still here?" that you had to click in between. I think that's what they need to add to Arena with all the people that either rage quit and make you go through all their timeouts, or just AFK like this. Boom. All right, some overkill damage. Way over-tallied that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed these videos. We got the Elf Ball out of the way. We got the good old Knight deck. I think both of them are quite fun to play. They're different than what other people are playing in the meta. Definitely my style of decks. Hope you enjoyed these videos. This has been Kevin with the Rogue Deck Builder. Thanks for watching.